Jack Draper. I was unable to serve for a month following my summer arm injury. Jack Draper. I was unable to serve for a month following my summer arm injury. The 2024 U.S. Open semifinalist is gearing up for his first competition since Wimbledon. Published August 23, 2025. New York. In 2025, Jack Draper transitioned from a promising spring to a challenging summer, as the world number 15 seeks a fresh start at the U.S. Open after being sidelined for the past 6 weeks due to an arm injury. During a media day press conference, the 2024 semifinalist shared, "I experienced some bone stress and bruising in the humerus of my left arm. It was one of those situations where continuing to play could have led to serious complications. Therefore, I had to take a break to recover." The British player celebrated his first Masters 1000 title at the BNP Paribas Open and made significant strides on clay, finishing as the runner-up at the Mutua Madrid Open. It was during the clay court season that Draper, sporting his new sponsor Vori during media appearances, began to notice the troubling signs of his arm injury. "I started to feel like my arm was shutting down a bit when hitting forehands, and it was also affecting my serve." Draper recalled, now the 5th seed at this year's U.S. Open. "The discomfort gradually worsened, and by the time I reached the grass courts, it became quite painful. I was uncertain about the extent of the issue." Draper advanced to the 4th round at Roland Garros and reached the semifinals at the HSBC Championships held at Queen's Club. However, he faced a disappointing exit from Wimbledon, his home Grand Slam, in the 2nd round. Despite competing through the pain, the 23-year-old did not attribute his 4-set defeat to Marin Cilic solely to his injury. "I believe my performance on grass was primarily due to my inability to adapt effectively to the surface," Draper stated. "I was simply outplayed by a better opponent that day at Wimbledon." Following this, Draper underwent medical evaluations and chose to skip the 2 Masters 1000 tournaments that precede the North American hardcourt swing, making the U.S. Open his first event in nearly 2 months. "I have been focusing on my recovery for the past month, and I'm eager to return to competition. I think that will help distract me from various concerns," Draper said regarding his comeback from injury. "I didn't hit any serves for about a month," Draper disclosed. "I was able to start hitting ground strokes after roughly 2.5 weeks, and from that point, it was decent. Of course, I had to gradually increase my training load as I couldn't jump back into it all at once." Draper, who practiced wearing a compression sleeve on his left arm, managed to gain some match experience earlier this week by teaming up with Jessica Pegula to reach the semifinals in mixed doubles. While he reports that his arm has mostly healed, he admits that concerns about a potential flare-up linger in the back of his mind. "A bone can heal, but it might still cause some discomfort, that's for sure," Draper noted as he prepares to face Federico Gomez in his first round of men's singles. "I don't anticipate that it will hinder me when I step onto the court on Monday. However, I've been attentive to my recovery over the past month, and I'm looking forward to getting back into competition. I believe that will help me focus on other things as well." With his health improving, Draper has also taken the opportunity to enhance his overall physical fitness since his last appearance at Flushing Meadows, where he struggled with illness during his semi-final match against the eventual champion, Jannik Sinner. "I think part of it is related to my genetics and my transition into a more mature physique. This process has taken time, and playing more frequently recently has been incredibly beneficial. I've had another opportunity to work on my fitness because, in tennis, it's rare to find time to step off the treadmill and focus on physical improvement. I didn't have a preseason at the end of last year, so it feels great to be back in shape. I've started to genuinely enjoy enhancing my physicality. Previously, I was hesitant to push myself and didn't want to feel strong, but now I feel fantastic and recognize the advantages this brings on the court." especially in high-stakes matches. Positioned in the top half of the draw, Draper could potentially face a high-stakes rematch with Sinner in the quarterfinals.